Okay, on the test, you're going to see these, ones you've got to change from words into a mathematical expression and solve. Okay, so you've got to read this and realizing how you've got to write it in terms of math and then just solve the problem. So let's have a quick at something else though. I've taken one from the book here. Look at this. 19 less than the difference between 9 and -2. Now do remember that when you see the and, it's normally just the linking word between two numbers. It doesn't mean add. I know we say 5 and 3 makes 8, but that is an addition problem, whereas this is a difference. This is a subtraction problem. It just wants what's the difference between 9 and -2. Again, don't think of the and as an addition. It is a subtraction. Okay, so the difference between 9 and -2. Here's a 9. Here's a -2. What's the difference between the two? I subtract. Now notice I wrote the 9 first and the -2 second, because that's what it has here. The 9 comes first, the -2 comes second. Ignore this 19 for now. Okay. So what's the difference between these two numbers? Remember, two negatives make a positive. So 9 and 2 is 11. All right, that is 11. Okay, so back to the question. 19 less than that. That means don't put the 19 first. 19 less than that means take away a 19. What's 19 less than 11? It's -8. Okay, and there's the answer. Do remember your little tricks for these. Of course, look, you are subtracting a bigger number. All right, it's bound to be a negative. All right, but remember some of your rules. Okay, the signs are different. If the signs are different, do a subtraction. But it's easier to take the bigger number, or the absolute number, take away the smaller number. That's why we get 8. But remember, the sign in front of the bigger number is negative. That's why it's -8. Okay, and that's the answer. But do remember the wording, okay? Even though the 19 came first, for this one it goes at the end. 9 was first here, -2 was second, so I wrote it that way. What's the difference between this one? That's first, that's second. But 19 less than that means you're subtracting 19 away from whatever you got for this little problem first. Now let's take one from here. Okay, have a look at this question 10 here. Twice the product of -6 and -8. Well, -6 times -8. Remember, two negatives, positive 48. Okay, so I'm doing that first. That's the product of -6 and -8. Twice that. What's twice that? Remember, it's 96. So that's twice the product of -6 and -8. What's the next thing? Subtracted from 3. Okay, we're going to subtract it from a 3. So the 3 goes here. Again, just because the 3 is at the end in the sentence, okay, doesn't mean it goes at the end. I'm subtracting this 96 from a 3. Again, I'm going to do this. What's 96? Take away 3. Do it that way instead. Well, isn't that 93? But the sign in front of the bigger number is negative. So the answer's -93. And there you go.